Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our Behind Her Brand Monday Morning Brew. I am on my third cup of brew. It's hot tea though. I hope that you got something warm to drink. I know over here in our area it's been all kind of different weather, and I'm loving all of it. But so today, I'm excited about today's topic, and I'm excited to see the different comments and feedback you guys have about it. I am a huge believer when it comes to really and truly stepping into your purpose. And I wanted to talk about it from a different kind of look, hopefully. And I can't wait to see some of your feedback behind this and you sharing your experiences. But I wanted to come from the topic of the power of your agreement with your purpose. Okay. Your agreement with your purpose. And let me tell you why I wanted to talk about this. We live in a very noisy world, as you guys all know. So much is competing with our attention. So much is content out there telling us to do this, to do that. And it never fails. No matter how strong the person is, how focused they are, how much they trust God, believe in their purpose, all the different things, our eyes can sometimes see and interpret and cause you to believe things that are simply not real. And what I mean by that is sometimes we can look at putting a lot of information out there every day, hoping that it's landing where it needs to land. And that feeling of, okay, there's no likes, there's no shares, there's no engagement, there's no this. So maybe I'm not doing the right thing, kind of thing. And it made me think about how important and vital it is about coming into agreement with your purpose. So I wrote something here on something that I'm kind of working on that I wanted to read to you all really quickly. Let me bring it over here. So what I wrote was coming into agreement with your purpose isn't just about you knowing what you're meant to do. Okay. Many of us who are watching today know what we're called to do. It's about wholeheartedly saying that this is the path that I'm meant to walk on. Now, what's the difference? Knowing what you're wanting to do, knowing what, okay, this is my purpose, and actually walking it out with total wholehearted commitment, meaning you're all in despite obstacles, all in despite hiccups, all in no matter what life brings you. That's the kind of all in that I'm referencing. It's the moment when you let go of those doubts, fears, and resistance and take that bold step into God's plan, even when the next step feels like a mystery to you. It's more than just an action, it's a total heart and mind shift, trusting that every high, low, and even awkward moments have been preparing you for something amazing, preparing you for what God has called you to. And here's the last thing I wrote here on it. It's when you stop trying to squeeze yourself into roles that never fit and finally step into the true unique calling God has designed for you. Coming into agreement with your purpose is like hitting the go button on clarity, confidence, and a life of powerful impact, not just for you, but for everyone you encounter. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is that I see so many times when things are not flowing or going the way that people want, or maybe you want, it can raise up those doubts, raise up those fears and frustrations of, am I really doing what I'm supposed to do? Am I really walking what I'm called to do? And I wanted to jump on here today because I know many of you guys are very clear on your purpose. And many of you guys have all gone through these seasons where you question, and maybe you're not comfortable, admitting that, or you may wonder, okay, am I doing the right things? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? And sometimes those things can cause you to pause, not necessarily quit, but it can cause you to pause or stall how you're progressing forward. Because so often our eyes can literally trip us up. If you're looking at likes, looking at follows, looking at engagement, you're looking at the wrong thing. When you are fully sure of what you're called to do, I'm going to encourage you today that no matter what things look like, even if things are not progressing the way that you're desiring it to, you keep putting things out there because you don't know who's all watching your content. I know this from experience. I've had women who literally would watch things that I post for years, real talk, for years, and life will come up. And then they decide to reach out and they'll say, you know what? I've been seeing your quotes. I've been seeing this video. I've been seeing this, never commenting, never liking, never sharing, never engaging. But then they're sharing with the impact it was on their life. And on the flip side of that, I've had some people who have come to me and said, is Behind Her Brand really and truly growing? Because I don't see a whole lot of engagement on this, that, and the other. And I have learned a long time ago that when I really said, Lord, I am committed to the purpose and call that you have on my life. I'm taking my eyes off of this, and this, and I'm only going to focus on what you've called me to do. When I have done that, I don't worry about people that say, well, you should be doing this more so you can get more likes and follows and engagement. I have learned, because I'm committed, I've made an agreement with myself that I am not going to let my eyes tell a lie, that's happening. I'm not going to let it do that. Just because I may not see all of this doesn't mean impact isn't going forward. Doesn't mean that people's lives are not being affected. It does not mean that. And I'm sharing this with you because this is an exercise that I did with myself. And I would encourage you, if you haven't done it, or maybe do a variation that fits for you, is really think about what your non-negotiables are when it comes to an agreement. It's the same way when you sign a contract. It's the same way when you come into agreement with someone. There's certain things that you put in place to say, look, this is what I expect. This is my non-negotiables. This is what I believe this agreement needs to entail. Do that with your purpose. I know that may sound crazy, but do that with your purpose. Like, it's a non-negotiable. I am not going to waver on what I'm called to do another day. I am not going to sit here and look at what's not happening and assume that I'm not walking in my purpose. Now, you may have to tweak things. Sure. You may have to move things around, do some things in different seasons. Sure. But when you're in agreement with your purpose, you stay on purpose, right? You may look at, okay, is there any fear, any doubts, anything pesky that's causing me not to be full throttle in my purpose? Is there anything that I'm allowing to hinder myself from being in full agreement? When you're in full agreement, like I put here, you will hit the go button on clarity, which means that since you're clear, you're going to literally run forward differently. Confidence, when you are clear, again, you're going to feel confident about everything you're doing, and you're not going to worry about the things that can trip you up. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm posting this today. I'm hosting this today. I'm launching this today. And whoever eyes, whoever engages, I know that it'll be a blessing to them because I know that I'm in my purpose right now. Okay. And the other thing that I mentioned here is of impact, not just for you, but for everyone you encounter. All your encounters are not going to be face to face. All of them are not going to be online. All of them are not going to be known. Okay. So I want to encourage you, look at the agreements you're making with yourself. How are you going to show up every day in your purpose? How are you going to show up every day in the content you're putting out there? How are you going to show up every day with clarity and confidence, knowing that you are making an impact? Not because of what your eyes are seeing for likes, follows, and this, that, and the other, right? You have no idea, as I mentioned earlier, who you're impacting, who you're influencing, who you're inspiring, who you're encouraging, who you're ministering to, who has literally looked at your content that day and said, I am not giving up, just based off of something you said and posted. So this is why this is so passionate for me, because I find so often there are so many inspiring people out there that are posting the most incredible content, and they get caught up in the wrong things and will disengage, or they will step back, or they'll stop because of likes, follows, and things of that nature. Don't let that be you. Come into agreement. Determine the things that I mentioned, non-negotiables. What is your tenets and areas of agreement for yourself when it comes to your purpose? Okay, I would love to hear your feedback. Love to hear some of your insights on this. But more than importantly, I just want to encourage you, come into agreement with your purpose in a new, refreshed way. And maybe you know your purpose, which is awesome and great. Look at the agreements you're making with yourself and see if there's anything you need to shift or change. And if you don't know your purpose, share that too. And let's kind of walk that thing out, okay? So that we can get you into a place of really being clear on what your purpose is. All right, ladies, I hope that you have an amazing, amazing day. And I look forward to hearing all the feedback and content.